I was elected as a democratic socialist, and I will govern as a democratic socialist. I will not abandon my principles for fear of being deemed radical. What's radical is a system which gives so much to so few and denies so many people the basic necessities of life.
That was New York City's new mayor, Zohran Mamdani, proudly kicking off the era of socialism in New York City, swearing in on the Quran next to Tish James last night, and then with Bernie Sanders this afternoon. But who's Mamdani really the mayor for? Is it the Holy Land Five, who he praised in a rap video, who were then convicted in 2008 of donating millions to Hamas? Perhaps it's the illegal aliens that he wants to provide a sanctuary city for. Or it could be the people of the South Africa Charter, for which he gave a shout out today. Watch.
Who does New York belong to? Well, my friends, we can look to Madiba and the South African Freedom Charter. New York belongs to all who live in it.
Last time I checked, New York does not belong to the South African Freedom Charter. Mamdani said he's a socialist, and after hearing him today, you would be a fool not to believe him. If you've got money, he wants it to redistribute to others. Countries in Europe are unrecognizable and struggling because they have caved into what Mamdani calls his abundance agenda. Everyone is welcome, and whatever you don't have, we'll take from someone else to give to you. The scary part, this may be becoming the new norm in America if more people like Mamdani get voted into office. Vickie Paladino, New York City Councilwoman, joins us now. Vickie, just a quick reminder of the mayor and what he represents, kind of like the best, the hottest hits here. Rent freeze, city-owned grocery stores, tax the rich, $30 minimum wage, sanctuary for LGBTQ, et cetera, community, stop ICE operations. And that's just a little bit of it. What's your reaction to the inauguration?
I thought I was in a third world country. I thought I was in a third world country. Everybody's getting on board as far as saying, let's cut him some slack. Let's see what he's going to do. This has been laid out for us now for months. He's made it very, very clear. He's been totally transparent. What the people of New York need to understand, people like us need to understand, is that the majority did not vote for this guy. Let's go over the base of who voted for Zohran Mamdani. The base that voted for Zohran was between 18 and 30 years old, has only lived in New York City between 7 to 10 years, some as little as 3. He had a very unique approach. Let's also be clear here. The DSA has been planning this for years. This is not something that has just popped up. They have decided to hijack the Democratic Party, and they have. And I think the higher-ups of the Democratic Party, what used to be the Democratic Party, should have stepped in and stopped this a long time ago. They did not. So what do we have? We have a bunch of weak people bowing to AOC, Bernie Sanders, burnt-out socialist, New Yorker born, moved to Vermont. For what reason? So that he could have his socialist agenda up there. AOC, who doesn't know her district, which is right next to mine, by the way, she actually shares part of my district. She never visits. She's never around. So what he's done here today is he has showed us once and for all, for real, in real time, this is now the Democratic Socialist city of New York. And he's not kidding around. And on my city council, we have got right now 18 self-proclaimed progressive caucus, which is made up of DSAs. So this guy's going to get a rubber stamp on a lot of the stuff he wants to do citywide. We saw Kathy Hochul take a knee. Not once, but twice. And again today, they're gushing about getting rid of millionaires. Well, half of them sitting, or 3/4 of them sitting up there today are all multimillionaires. So you know what? I think maybe we should start to dig into your pockets a little bit. And I think Kathy Hochul, whose husband owns every concession stand in the stadium up in Buffalo, I think we should start to go after her money a little bit. You see, they claim they're for blue collar. They're not for blue collar. They're going to kill blue collar.
You make a very good point about, who really elected this person. And it is a very small amount of people, basically in a primary, because the Republican isn't going to win in New York City. Here was Mamdani earlier saying the quiet part out loud with his socialist ideas. Listen.
We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism.
The warmth of collectivism.
Wow.
You know, I mean, I know a little bit about my Karl Marx history and that sort of thing. This stuff, you are right. He told you exactly what he was, what he is, what he will be, and you should have believed him. Literally almost communism at its finest. What are your thoughts?
Well, when I heard that, my skin literally crawled. Don't we want to be individuals? Don't we want to? I mean, they're all about LGBTQ rights and this person's rights and now they're different, right? They're not of the majority. We're talking a very small fraction of the people. But when you start to talk collectivism and you start to speak as he does, you are absolutely right. 100% you are right about this being right out of the straight books of Marx. And we've got ourselves a giant problem here. I want to see, I'm a big part of the New York City Council. As you could see, I'm very vocal. I don't hide how I feel. He doesn't like that much. And I will tell you that he's got a little problem with Vickie Paladino. Collectively, they have a problem with Vickie Paladino. So I want everybody to keep their eye on me. I'm going to ask you for some help here because they're looking to shut me down. And they're not going to do that.
All right. City Councilwoman from New York, Vickie Paladino. You got a big job ahead of you. Thank you very much for taking some time to join us.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.